Yo guys, what up, man? We're back in here. Back in the game. Welcome to the complicated Chelsea show where, some guys, we just talk Chelsea, man. So this is a strange one, man, because we're going to have to, because I don't know where to start. So maybe I want to start with the good and then start with the bad. So I think that's the best.
Bad, then good after.
So we're going to start with the bad, then the good. Okay.
So if you want us to run, let us run.
Miles go in order.
We chill with the good.
Okay. Let's start with the bad. So because I don't think you were on our post-match stream. Because I think it was me, Eddie, and Ford. So it wasn't Daniel.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah. So
I was doing the same then.
Okay. So you studio, man. Chelsea fans, check out Blue Studio, man.
Guys, support. Massive support, guys. Let's get to 2K subscribers, guys.
Okay, get to Blue. Join Blue Studio. Join my guy. Help my guy. So look, I'm lucky, man.
My Ugolo Kante is my stuff. It's my avatar. Please join that guy. Good Kante.
So look,
the shit for guy.
I don't like it, man. So because we didn't hear your point of view, so like so much stuff about that game that could be fearful for May 29th. So you look at why was Reece James moved at right centre back and Azpilicueta at right wing back. Chelsea, I hardly created many chances. They hardly had many shots on target and so forth. So was that a case of Leicester City just got lucky with the goal that Tielemans scored, or were you disappointed in how badly Chelsea played and because Chelsea should have won that final. They should have, especially when you look at how well they played in the Premier League game, which we'll get into because Leicester City, I think they changed their approach between both games. But who do you blame the most for how that final was botched up?
So many things to talk about because on my watch along, Chelsea almost killed me. I was falling asleep for the whole 90 minutes. Then when Ben Chilwell scored, I was celebrating. I went outside already. I celebrated outside and I came back. My brother had to draw me back. Brother, this now offside. I almost killed VR. I was like, how can I get to that TV and just go to VR and slap them and just give them a dirty slap? I was so pissed off, man. But the overall match, I listened to Tuchel's post-match and I look at the way I think I wouldn't call it a change. I wouldn't call it we didn't give up. It was just unlucky. Because if you look at the way we played the match, no intensity, no nothing. It was just like boring. And I think we're just unlucky. The player didn't put their mind at it that much on like the Premier League matches because if you look at the FA Cup, like I said, you remember the last thing we did before the final, I said it's a final. I don't care. I don't care what we put out. We just have to win it. So I understand why I blame Tuchel a little bit in terms of the lineup. To Ziyech, Timo Werner, and then Mason Mount. Please, I've been saying this thing for a very long time. Ziyech doesn't work in the back three. There's a problem. It's still that long, and I have to credit. Daniel for this. Thank you for coming in at the right time. He keeps saying it. Why would a talented player like Ziyech play in Eredivisie for like 27 years of age? Why? It shows how slow that league is compared to the Premier League, compared to the EPL. So I blame Tuchel a little bit in terms of the lineup, and I also blame the players because it's a final they have to turn up in. Chelsea Football Club is not like a top 4 team where we celebrated top 4. I hate that bullshit, man. It doesn't work. It doesn't work in my own dictionary. So I understand that. I also noticed something. I said this thing the last thing we did before we did the final. There's a difference between Areza Balaga and Edouard Mendy. I have watched that replay 1 billion times ago. I will say it again. Edouard Mendy is 6'6". He's 6'6". That shot element thing, Mendy will save that shot 100%. He's tall, he's very, very tall, and he has very good reflexes. Areza Balaga is not even a goalkeeper. I don't know what else to call that guy. He's not a goalkeeper. Because people come and excuse and say, because it's Balaga, I don't care. Edouard Mendy is 6'6". We save that ball. Do you know what Telemann said? He said they get a text from the staff of the Latin that it is Areza Balaga keeping. He has to shoot from outside the border. It's not good in saving balls outside the box. What does that tell me as a fans? What does it tell me? That's a problem. If Mendy was keeping that final, I can guarantee you, Telemans is not scoring that goal. Mendy is saving that ball. That's how good of a goalkeeper he is. He is. So for me, Areza Balaga, we need to have a serious conversation about him. It's a serious problem. because Mendy is going to Africa Cup of Nations next year. We're screwed already. That's my problem at the moment. We're screwed. So overall, the FA Cup overall, I'm not that angry. Before, after the post match, I was mad. I was pissed off. Then I have to calm down a little bit, address the matches. But I think overall, I'm just calm down. I'm just calm and chill a little bit. I'm just kind of okay. Let's say I go. And when we played the Premier League, my friend was like, okay, I understand why the final was like the but Chelsea, you just have to turn up. This is a final, and I understand why the match was like that. I get it. I was just kind of a little bit calm. I think I was much pissed off with the. I understand the VR. The problem with the VR. My issue with VR is it's not the VR machine. It is the people implementing the VR. Ben Chilwell was what HH. I'm going to have it. Maybe Daniel needs to define something for me. What is called pubic hair? Please, I need to understand the dictionary that's called pubic hair. Please, I need to know. Someone needs to define something called pubic hair for me. You're gonna get an offset for a pubic hair. Tell me. So, what does the player need to do? Does he need to stand like this to head the ball, or does he need to be like this? What's going on with VR? I don't know. I don't get.
No. As a second,
I don't get.
Because me and Daniel on Talking Tactics drops every Tuesday, we're trying to say that the rule has to be done up. Like, I think it's about it was by rule of law, it was right. So you can't just say, oh, the referees and so forth were saying everything. The rule was right by what they were saying. But my thing is that you've got to rewrite the rule because my pubic hair is offside doesn't mean that I have an unfair scoring advantage. That is really ridiculous. So we have to review this whole offside thing because how Chilwell had an unfair advantage for that is ridiculous.
My Lord and heaven. I watched Atletico Madrid. Their last match versus what's called Osasuna. Lodi scored the same goal Ben Chilwell scored. He scored that same goal. I watched that match very well. The same goal Lodi scored was the same goal Ben Chilwell scored. It was given onside. So tell me, does the pubic hair work with the one of Leran Lodi? I don't know. What is going on with the VR in English and the VR in Spanish La Liga or the Bundesliga? I don't know. I need a total explanation because you can't tell me. IFAB cannot tell us pubic hair is part of VR offside because I need to understand because in my own dictionary, I don't know the definition of pubic hair. I don't know. I don't understand it. I have no idea about it.
But so I'm going to
what should you eat?
Let me come to Eddie. So Eddie, are you worried by 2 finals lost and how that final was? I mean, like, do you have any more thoughts regarding to how they handled that final, specifically looking towards May 29th and so forth? Is there a worry that Chelsea have lost yet another final, or you can just put that as an outlier? Is it just something to be worried for if you're just looking back at how they botched up a final they should have won?
I mean, it could be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. First of all, they should have won that final. They had the squad to beat Leicester City twice, and that's something I said last week. I'm not going back on that. You know, the thing last week was 4 games, 4 wins, and the first game they messed it up, especially in a cup final like that. So there was obviously something wrong from the start because the intensity from Chelsea. I mean, we'll get to Tuesdays. Is it Tuesdays or Wednesdays game? The intensity from Chelsea for that game was completely off. You know, I don't think they had a shot on target until late in the second. That's not how you play football, man. That's not how you play, you know, in the final. So look, that game should give Chelsea fans some worry for May 29th because Tuchel started doing some things that he started trying and experimenting some things that I don't think work. Rich James at right centre back and Aspi at right wing back, bringing in Alonso for a cup final. When you have Chilwell in the squad, and the biggest one was Kepa. The Tuchel Marina plan failed because if Chelsea by mistake had won the FA Cup final, then Kepa's value goes up about 15 mil because Mourinho wanted to slap that FA Cup winner on Kepa. So, you know, look, At the end of the day, Tuchel, I think he understands he made some mistakes. I was a bit more pissed off about the way he explained things after the game, because just say you made some mistakes. Don't go around blaming the ref and all that. Yes, he clearly looked like he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy about the loss, but at the same time, it just sounded like he was making excuses rather than giving a solid explanation and taking accountability and responsibility for that game. So yeah, it does give you a bit of a worry. But then if you look at it on the good side as well, the squad will be probably more hungry to at least get something out of this season. I mean, you could see Tuchel from this Tuesday's game. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday, I can't remember now. From this Tuesday's game, I'll say Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, you can see Tuchel from this Tuesday's. He didn't care much about the game after. I was like, look, we're done with this one. Let's focus on the next one, because now he knows that every game from here on in is a must win, and that's the position Chelsea have put themselves in. So it could be a good thing in that sense, in the sense that the players will be hungry. The players will want to go and put a performance in. And there's some players still auditioning for Champions League final spots at this point. So it'll be good to see how they go against Villa, and then we'll see how we go for the Champions League final. But yeah, obviously, I wasn't a fan of the loss, but depends how the players can take it and use it to help them going forward.
Can you tell me what the subject was, Eddie?
FA Cup final thoughts.
FA Cup final, the
FA Cup
loss.
final.
Daniel, please, can you divine pubic hair for me? I need to understand. And my dictionary doesn't understand.
That's a have-hope terminology, so you can ask him. I'm not going to define pubic hair for you. It was a final, wasn't it? You know, Leicester played the way they had to play in order to get a result. You could see the difference between the game in midweek. That's how Leicester would like to play. There's a little bit more open, a little bit more expansive, a little bit more risky. But in a final, you're at Wembley Stadium. You've never won the FA Cup before. You're obviously going to be a little bit more defensive. And as we've been saying for months now, if Chelsea can't break you down, you'll always have a chance. And if that includes Timo Werner missing, or Ziyech having a bad game, or Jorginho, Conte, Kovacic, if that one of those three aren't able to create something, if Mount isn't on form like he should be or creating, then the opposition is going to have a chance. And, Leicester were defensively solid. Chelsea were solid, but you make one mistake. Reece James, I think, trying to force a ball through to Conte. Conte's out of position. He can't get back. Jorginho's trying to scramble back. He gets back, and instead of trying to close Tielemans down, he's pointing at Silva, who's 36. Like, why don't you do that? But, you give Tielemans all the time in the world. He's good shooting from range. Who's in goal. We don't have to talk about that all too much. I think I've said enough. 1-0 down. And then again, do you have what it takes to create a goal? I think Chelsea in the past 2 games against Leicester, they scored 3 goals that didn't count based on poor positioning, offside. You can call it pubic hair. You can call it whatever you want. But, they couldn't break Leicester down given the rules of the game and how the game is officiated. So credit to Leicester. I played like they had to play in order to win the final. Chelsea, I mean, you're missing a Diego Costa, Didier Drogba. You need that one player who has what it takes in a big final to get what needs to be done. And they didn't have that. So maybe, as Eddie says, it can spur you on. No pun intended. I hope there's nothing in there. To play better in the final. Champions League, obviously that's the bigger game. So we'll see. But I don't know what the stat was, but like 14 of the last 19 finals, Chelsea haven't won, or something outrageous like that.
We've lost 11 finals. We've lost 8.
So 8 of the last 11.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope Chelsea don't lose. Let's hope they don't lose on the 29th, because that would be bad. But yeah, no clear direction. I would say is the bigger problem. People think you look like Drogba. HH looking like Drogba.
What's it called? I was outside my university, just walking down Bilmore University, and someone behind us said, "Hey, Drogba!" I then turned around and I said, "Oh, sorry." So So like a group of kids thought I was Drogba, but they thought I was Drogba from behind. So I don't know what I look like.
Did you have a perm? Did you have a perm?
No. I was bald.
Yeah, but Drogba body, it was already bald.
Yeah, I was Drogba. So I think bald, but I don't look like Drogba at all. Trust me, I don't look like Drogba. So look, man, Anthony Rudiger. Why isn't this guy the captain of this team? Because
he's new relative to Aspie.
You see, here's the thing. Let's talk about captain's thing. Should it always be about who's been there the longest? Bruno Fernandes, Maguire. De Gea has been there longer than Maguire. Should be there longer than Maguire, but Maguire came in, he's captain, and I think Bruno Fernandes is like deputy captain. So it shouldn't always be about who's been there long term. Now, if somebody has been there for a long time and he's got good leadership skills, he's consistent, and I think he's respected in the dressing room, then good. Because my attributes for captain is, if it's in order, is your character, your consistency on the pitch, and how much people respect you in the dressing room. I've never agreed with Hugo Lloris being the captain for France because I know for a fact that he's not respected by everyone in that dressing room. I know for a fact. I've seen the videos and stuff, and it's like, I don't think everyone really rocks with Hugo Lloris.
You don't think the captain of France is a more political position? That they want the captain of France to look a particular way?
White, basically. The one that wants to be white.
You see, you don't have to say.
Well, I'll say, well, you can be pussy. I'm not going to be pussy. So basically, everybody has to be white.
Hey guys,
I want the listener to have to think like, oh, you know,
Le Pen. Look him up. Le Pen. His daughter's now saying what's up. So, I just think that Rudiger, again, scoring a goal and everything, and he's been quality. He's been consistent. He's been one of Chelsea's strongest, best performers. And I just think that, so I want to know where guys are at with this. So let me come on and bring him to Eddie. So Eddie, do you feel that I don't know, rock the boat is fine? Or do you think that no, based on what he's done, how well he's played, is one of Chelsea's best performances Tuchel has taken over, he should and deserves to be captain of Chelsea? Or you don't think it matters that much? I do.
Look, I mean, for us having the conversation here, we can have the conversation from now to tomorrow. It doesn't change what the board wants, or what Tuchel would want, because if we're having a conversation about captaincy, then it varies from coach to coach or from manager to manager what their definition of a captain is, or what the squad politics are at this point, because everyone brace yourself for it. Mason Mount's going to be your assistant captain next season, if you haven't realized it. So, yeah, I mean, you do want characters in the squad. For me, the captaincy, even me playing football as well, I never really cared who the captain was, because you all knew who the leader was in the dressing room anyways. You all knew who the main guys were that you listened to.
But the thing, I mean, speaking like that, it is true. But even when I was on teams, it did have a psychological effect on me who wore the captain's armband. I'll tell a story. I don't care. He probably isn't listening. Tom Lamb. Tom Lamb was the captain of one of my school teams. He was pretty much a teacher's pet. No one respected the freaking dude just because he's a nice guy and so forth. And I think that really bothered me, that he was the captain of the team because he just seemed to be the teacher's pet and so forth. But I do think that even if, let's say, France, for instance, let's say I play for France, I know Pogba is a leader and so forth, but it bothers me that Lloris has the captain's armband. Same thing, I think I was saying this to Daniel last time. One of my work colleagues is Croatian. Modric is the captain, but he told me that the spiritual leader of that team was Mandzukic. He was the guy that really brought people together and so forth. So my thing is that, is a captaincy just purely a political thing? Or if it is, why shouldn't it be a thing of like, no, who is the spiritual leader of this team? Who's the guy that everyone gravitates towards? Whoever that is, surely that should be the captain. And I think that can help people psychologically, because Because if you give Rudiger the captain's armband, I think that he approaches things differently, which could help to, in a small way, because it's still about football, in a small way, improve the psychology of the team.
Look, I mean, HH, I don't know if you just woke up in 2021 or something, but it's all political these days. Like, captaincy is political at the end of the day. It's either give it to your best player. The leadership, it's something that football's going away and away from on the daily. It's either give it to the best player or the player who the fans recognize the most, or the player is going to help you sell the most jerseys. That's what it is these days. So,
do you think Messi should be the captain of Argentina?
No.
Given his mentality?
No.
Not really. Do you think
exactly.
Eden Hazard should be captain of Belgium?
Captain of Belgium? No.
Given his mentality? Like, probably not. But they give it to the best player.
That's what I'm saying. It's either the best player, or for clubs, the player who will help you sell the most jerseys, or the player who the fans have an affinity to the most, aka Chelsea with Mason Mount next season, becoming your assistant captain. So, and for some clubs, they give it to whoever's there the longest, because they don't have any options, as they put it. Because Aspie was who gave Aspie the captaincy again? Was it Lampard or
Sorry?
It was Sarri, yeah.
It was Sarri.
So, I mean, he could have given it to Jorginho if he really wanted, to be honest. So,
or was it Conte in his last season? It might have been.
No.
When did John Terry leave?
No, I think after it was under Antonio, when the season, what season did Mourinho left?
It was under Antonio Conte, but
when Mourinho left the following season,
Cahill was still the captain.
Cahill was the captain then.
Okay.
So when Cahill left, Aspicata was given the.
So it was Sarri.
It was
Sarri.
Okay.
It was Sarri. So Cahill was on the bench, as was captain in the squad as the assistant. And then Cahill left, and Lampard just left things as they were. Cool. So look, that's the way it works for the most squad, and some managers are a bit scared to change things too quickly, because if you look at how often Chelsea have changed managers, I'm pretty sure each manager would have their own different idea on who should be the captain. But it's, let's try and survive for now, let's try and live. It doesn't matter who the captain is. Let's just leave it with the guy who's been doing it. So at the end of the day, in this day and age, wearing the armband doesn't matter. Everyone in the squad know who the spiritual leaders are and who the leaders in the squad are.
No, but the
armband is just for talking to the refs and stuff like that. So
no. I think no. Like, you are. I think because I'm just old school. I'm just being an old head here. Because growing up, the captain mattered.
Yeah,
like that was like, it was a thing. So whoever wore that captain's armband in the 90s was like, no. It's very important who that guy was, and he had a very strong role in the team. But I think growing up and so forth, yeah, it's changed. Right now, it's like it doesn't really matter anymore. It's just whoever the best player is, which I think it's a shame, because I think it's a nice footballing cultural thing, I think, to keep, which is that the importance of the captain and the role that he holds within the team and how that symbol can help inspire you. But I think things change and so forth. So Daniel,
don't choke.
I know. What do you take from that win against Leicester City and so forth? Is it a case of, hey, why did you play like this in the FA Cup, or Leicester City just changed their approach? So Leicester City were much more defensive in the FA Cup, therefore didn't give Chelsea space. And in this Premier League game, they played a lot more open, therefore Chelsea had a lot more space. And Timo Werner, why would you do a knee slide when you know that you performed a handball? But anyway, Daniel.
I mean, you
can't. Hey, my friend Abdullah, don't put your head on my friend. Look, Abdullah is just being stupid. Carry on.
You kind of answered the question in the question, so I don't know what I'm really meant to say. Like, Leicester played different. I mean, and I maybe answered that in my first one, but Leicester didn't play the same style of football, nor would you kind of expect them to.
But why not, though? Because it's a game you have to win, unless they take the FA Cup more seriously than...
It's not Wembley, it's not a cup final, the pressure is different. So but it's a good question. Why wouldn't you play the exact same way, given that you won? But
and it's worked for you so well.
But Chelsea weren't playing the same. Leicester aren't going to play the same. It's not the same players. So
Yeah, it was roughly the same players, to be honest.
It was Pulisic was the only difference.
Conte? No, not Conte, but Mendy. Sorry, Kepa. That's a change.
Yep.
Okay, but I mean, but it was 90% the same team. It's 90% the same team and the same players.
But okay, but before Rudiger's goal, it kind of did go the same way, where it was just kind of for like the first half. It was 0-0, right? And then
Chelsea,
it
Chelsea
was a different game. It was a different game. Yeah.
No, well, I mean the score. I already conceded in the first part that it was a different style of game, but I'm just trying to create conversation. So, how different was the 0-0 before Rudiger's goal and before Tielemans' goal?
Before it should have been 1-0. I don't know. McDean is an idiot Premier League referee. How do you know count that as a penalty and you count the second half? Oh my God! EPL referee to check themselves. I don't understand this stupid rubbish IFAB rules. It has to change next season.
Are you ever happy, Abdullahi? Like, do you ever not just hate people?
How could you tell me someone kick a player in front? You can see with your eye. You cannot even put on a shade or glass. You can see. It's closer to you. You're telling me no penalties. And Timo Werner further outside the box and you tell me that's a penalty. What's going on?
That was a penalty. That was no. My thing is that remember, as I was saying to you guys, the exact same thing happened to Messi. I wouldn't give it, but it's given. The guy kicked Werner in the leg. So, and the thing is, my kid,
you can see it.
You are literally 2 yards away. You are viewing it and you're like, yes, he kicked him. No penalty.
What is the job of the VR? You need to check it. They said obvious and clear errors. Please tell me, is that not obvious and clear error? You kick me at the back. If I'm playing football, you kick me, yes. And there was like VR. I was like, and we checked it. It wasn't. Are you mad? It wasn't obvious and clear. You really? But you can give that one second as a penalty.
Do you know the scariest thing is that knowing EPL referees that are going to VAR, McDean would have just walked out over to that screen, looks up like,
and still not give it.
I know, go agree. So he will look views and say, nah, I beg, make it go. So back to Daniel, man.
I don't have anything to say. I can speak about the penalty. If that's what we're talking about.
Oh, I
guess the goal.
Yeah, that where he would go.
But yeah, but I see things you guys don't see, but that's fine.
AKA reading the comments.
What comments? No. I didn't have any comments.
Okay.
Mike, the game was in full screen.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Daniel,
no comments. Yeah, sure, yeah. Things we don't see. Yeah, sure.
Clearly.
I know. Yeah.
Chelsea scored Zuma scored like 5 or 6 goals this season. Silva scored maybe 1 or 2. So every time there's a corner, I look at where the center backs are positioned because they're clearly the biggest threats from set pieces. So the most likely player to score would either be Silva or Rudiger. So I saw where Silva was. It didn't look good. I saw where Rudiger was. I was like, if the corner's good, he might score. So I was like, do something for me, Rudiger. And then that's what he did. So that's what I mean. I'm looking at that kind of stuff on a set piece. But as for the penalty claim, I get HH's point to the Messi Koulibaly thing. But if you're already starting to clear the ball before the player gets in front, I can understand how the VAR ref would look at that and think, it's a bit of gray area. So let's just go with the call on the field rather than change it. So Tielemans was already clearing the ball or trying to kick the ball before Werner positioned himself in front. If Werner was already there and then Tielemans went, okay. But that's not how it worked. So, and I think we would agree that the call in the Barca-Napoli game was, I didn't agree with it. I thought that it was harsh on Koulibaly.
Yes.
So for them to, I can't on one hand complain that was the wrong call and then say use that wrong call to then justify another bad call that would have been a penalty for Chelsea. So you can use previous bad calls to justify another bad call, or you can just accept, I didn't agree with that one, so I must agree with this one.
But the point I made was, yeah, I didn't agree with it, but it's given, which is that, okay, so this might be letter of the law. Again, I wouldn't agree that should be a penalty, but if it's lettered by the law, same thing of like the whole ball to hand thing. Bro, I don't agree with ball to hand. But if that is lettered by the law, which is stupid, you could keep the same energy and then review it at the end of the season.
I watched, I think this year, it was Aston Villa, Manchester United, Labiu, Pogba, and Means. Pogba kicked Means in the box and I was given a penalty. The same incident happened with Timo Werner and Telemans. The same VR is the one officiating the EPL. So I say, no, why is this excuse that it's not going to be given? The same VR is officiating the EPL. Labiu Pogba was the one that kicked Taria Mace in the box. It was given as a penalty. Why wasn't that was given also too? I don't understand. Every time Magdin blows a Premier League match, there's always a controversy. Why would it only be him? Why? What's going on?
And I think European officials are under a different kind of set of rules, or like there's a different set of kind of laws or rules that they have to follow. Like the Premier League can do their own thing with VAR, but it's not the same in the Champions League. So who knows what the Champions League mandate is versus the Premier League one? Like it's all different. So
Tuesday's game. Leicester City have themselves to blame because Brendan Rodgers, I'm sorry, you're stupid. I mean, all Leicester City needed to do was get 1 point, and top 4 race was over, done, finito. They were in because you get the 1 point. Chelsea, I don't think, could catch Leicester City, or Leicester City win on the last day. Chelsea have the more difficult game, and Chelsea have to win. I forgot what the whole permutations were at the time. I think they were 3 points ahead of Chelsea, or so. I forgot it now. 2 points. So with 2 points, Chelsea get a win on the last day. You get a draw, goal difference, I think, something like that. But everything was in Leicester City's favor, and I think I mentioned that as well last week after the game, after the final, where I said, look, Chelsea might not end up in top 4 if Leicester City are smart about this. And for some reason, I don't know why Brendan Rodgers, with roughly the same squad, all he done was bring in Madison for Kelechi. I mean, it was roughly the same squad, and all you had to do was sit back, hit Chelsea on the counter, and see what happens. But they played so open that Chelsea had way too many chances. And you give Chelsea are a team that depend on giving volume of chances. They get volume, they surely have to score one. Got a warning from Timo Werner, had penalty. Again, I don't want to have a chat about VAR because it's it's not going to end. So forget VAR. My thing is, did you play well enough to win the game? And Chelsea did on the day. So that's what it is. But again, look, that whole attack does not give me any confidence at all. You know, Chelsea played well, but the attack doesn't give me confidence. The midfield. God, please let Conte be fit for that Champions League final.
He wasn't injured. No, he wasn't injured. It was Tuchel said it that Conte told him in French that he doesn't want to contend, that if he keep playing, he's gonna get an hamstring injury. So he has to took him off. It wasn't injured. It was just precaution.
Well,
it was
precaution.
If he was taken off in the 30th minute, there's something.
Yeah, it was precaution.
Tuchel's gonna come and obviously temper expectations with the fans. There's something wrong there, and it's clear to see. If Conte was good, you come off at halftime and say, okay, cool, you play 45 minutes, boom, let's keep you safe. But even with what he said, he didn't want to bring Kovacic on as well, because Kovacic is coming back from injury. So
he was at fault for the
goal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, because I mean, we're talking about Jorginho pointing to Thiago Silva to go cover Tillmans. Kovacic ain't looking that good either.
So this is an issue because you know of the issues that Jorginho has. Now, Kovacic may have issues right now coming back from injury. You can't put Billy Gilmore in there because he's too young.
Exactly. The CL final is looking iffy right now because Kante needs a partner, and God forbid Kante can't play 90 minutes or 120 minutes if needed.
Would you start him?
Kante?
Yeah. Would you like kind of give him the first half off
Hell
and
yeah!
put him in?
Wait, against Man
No,
City or
yeah.
this weekend?
No, against City.
Hell yeah! What? Start your best 11. It's the last game of the season. What?
See,
Wait, start
wait.
Kovacic and
Jorginho. Oh no. I'm just trying to play 3D chess. Okay. Now let's
man.
suggest.
This is 1D checkers, man.
Wait a minute.
This is 1D checkers, man.
In the World Cup final, Kante was sick, and I guess Deschamps went up to him and was like, "How much time can you give me?" And he said, "Probably an hour." I'm just assuming. So Kante, in the biggest game of his career to date, didn't play that well. And people were like, you know, Kante's having a disaster class. Woo woo. He didn't play well. But news came out and said that he was sick. So I'm wondering, would you rather save Kante for 45 minutes and then play him for 45 and looking that there could be extra time and kind of play it that way? Like if Kante goes out there for 30 minutes and then injures himself, do you want that to be the first 30 minutes of the game? Or does it just not matter? I'm just thinking like Okay.
Let me respond.
Could you be smarter with the deployment of Kante's minutes? Is what I'm wondering.
So what? Okay, you said he plays 30 minutes and he gets injured. Okay, I save him for the second half. He plays for 30 minutes and he gets injured. Now what?
So no, but I'm wondering like
So if it's a case of like he plays 30 minutes he plays, he'll get injured. Okay, let me bring him on to the second half. That means that before the second half is ended, I lose him because you could only go for 30 minutes. Because you could have an issue where you don't start him and you know how good he is in intercepting and breaking down plays. What if City are 2-0 up? Bringing on Kante is going to save you from changing a 2-0 scoreline in a final?
I'm just wondering. Like, could that be an idea where you don't start Kante intentionally, so you have him for later?
No.
No. Man. You have to take the risk. You could start with the best foot forward. You have to start with the best foot forward, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about the Euros? If he gets injured and can't play the Euros, then
what do you mean? Who cares about the Euros? Me,
Eddie. Let's come on. We need.
Eddie doesn't give a damn about international football, do you?
I don't give a damn. Nah, I mean, I watch the World Cup and I watch the World Cup and the Nations Cup. Like, hey, shout out to Nigeria, but still, I don't care about the Euros. I'm not from Europe. What the hell? I mean, I'll watch the football, but who cares who plays?
But Australia are a European colony, though. But there you go.
I am Nigerian, so I don't know what you're on about. I mean, nah, don't worry.
G'day, mate.
I was
on the barbie, mate.
G'day, mate. Get that shrimp on a barbie.
Oh my god, man!
But no.
I'm gonna wait, neighbors.
If Kante is fit, you play him. You play him because Kovacic and Jorginho midfield.
I thought you guys weren't fans of the.
But look at how they're playing
Jovicic.
now.
Who named them?
I thought you, Eddie. I thought you were a fan of Jovicic.
You must be on crack. You're smoking something, bro. I said Kante walks back into the team. Even when the whole thing started, Kante was injured. So, look, Kante is needed in this team, man. And if right now I don't know who his best partner will be for that final. That's something. That's why I said, look, there's still auditions going on for the Champions League final because some positions still unsorted in this team. The right centre back is going to be another question because
what would your team be as of May 20th, May 21st, where you're at? What would your team be? Your starting
goals.
Stop. Be serious.
Mendy. Mendy. So Rudiger left centre back. Thiago Silva centre. And Christensen's not fit, so I will put Aspilicueta. Right center back. Just this is Man City, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll play. No, bring Chilwell in the second half. So I'll play Rich James right wing back, Chilwell left wing back, Kante, Kovacic, Mount. This is where it gets tough, man. I don't know who's gonna play attack. Like, dang.
Werner's playing up top.
No. He has no. Werner is good. We have to accept that Sobotimo
Werner will
is
play.
that.
Is it Ziyech or Havertz? Or Pulisic?
Pulisic.
Okay.
Because you're talking of hitting them on the counter. No, actually, I'll start Havertz. No Pulisic. Because I'll bring
Pulisic
Havertz.
is another one that I'd get scared would get hurt, and I'd have him on the bench.
But Pulisic's movements would be very key, though, against Man City, especially.
Well, you need that more in the second half. Because if I start with Pulisic, who am I bringing off the bench? Because you're looking at this like a potential 120-minute game. It becomes, I mean, you need some firepower.
That's why I was thinking about Kante, man, because you won't sub Kante off. That's not going to happen. So can he give you 120 minutes?
Well,
I don't know. So I'm thinking like can I save him for 45 and sneak the others?
But you saving
I hear
you're 2-0 down, yeah.
Yeah, I hear your point that if the game's gone, then bringing him on in the second half is pointless. So you might as well just start him and risk him. But my whole thing has been I'm not a fan of risking Kante. But perhaps a Champions League final is a game where I'll relax that.
Again, if it was a Europa League final, then I'm not playing Kante.
Right.
If it was a Europa League final, but Daniel, it's the Champions
League final. Yeah, I hear you, but I was just thinking like if it's a 120-minute game, 2 hours for Kante, considering he couldn't even get 35 minutes against Leicester, I just feel like I don't know. It's a risk, but isn't it always? So
it's a risk we'll have to take. But yeah, that would be my team at this point. Then you bring boys like Cho and Pulisic off the bench. Maybe I'll say Tammy, but obviously he's not going to play. So maybe Giroud as well, depending on how the game goes.
There's no way Tuchel's playing Abraham.
Oh no, that's not happening. There's no.
It's too risky because he could end up winning the Champions League for Chelsea. And
Awkward.
then yeah, exactly.
That was the same thing in the FA Cup final. Oh wait, was Tammy in the squad last week in the FA Cup final? I don't think he was.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was in the Leicester team.
That's why his girlfriend posted him on Instagram.
Because Havertz got injured, so he made the league squad, but not the FA Cup squad.
That's a bit messed up, man. Because look, what can you do? But there's issues with the squad still, man. I'm not confident about it.
It's not perfect.
No. But as we assess and we came to, I think that's what we said, me, you, and Ford when we did the FA Cup post match, is that this team is broken. This team is neither Lampard's team or Tuchel's team. Lampard did pick these players. Tuchel has just come in with these players. So these players don't belong to neither manager. So it's like a Frankenstein concoction.
There's like 5 teams. There's 5 teams.
Yeah.
You have Mourinho players, Conte players, Sarri players, Lampard players. Then you have, it's 6. You have what Tuchel's trying to do with them. And then on top of that, board signings that probably nobody wanted except.
No one wanted.
Like Mendy is a board signing. He's worked. But you really think Lampard wanted him instead of the dude from Burnley? Pope?
Basically, Marina logged onto Football Manager, did like a
Y Scout. They all go on Y Scout.
Yeah, and they say, okay, who is most hyped? Who has most retweets? Look at YouTube compilations. How many likes on these YouTube compilations and everything? Boom, sign them. You can laugh. I
gave up comps after Bakayoko. I thought he was the next Yaya Toure or something, and then it didn't work.
Oh my gosh, man. So from I Test Merchant, who says Mounts is the most consistent this season, should be captain. So do you guys think Mount should be captain?
I think he will be.
No. Do you think he should be based on your assessment?
No.
Personally.
For what? Like the final? Like, what do you mean?
No. Just just for
Just in
next
general.
season. In general.
Next
No.
season seems a bit soon. I mean, with 2-3 years, he's going to be captain anyway. So
Again,
but
for
next
you,
season,
for you,
no.
Daniel. Now, would
No.
he be captain for you?
Yeah, why not?
All right, Eddie, what about you? What say you?
It's too early for him. But again, based on who I would want as my captain, probably not. Listen, he'll be in the leadership group, but he wouldn't be captain. That's what I'll say.
Listen, if it was like Chilwell or Reece James or I don't know, Timo Werner or Havertz, like I can't see them as captain. I can see Mount as a captain. Midfielder, he seems vocal enough, and he'll just grow into that, especially once he gets more power in the club. Fans love him. Any manager that comes in for the next decade is gonna love to have him. And I think this is probably an underrated point, but as Eddie said in his captain talk before, if the point of a captain is politics, nobody's stronger politically in Chelsea Football Club than Mason Mount. And on top of that, if the function of the captain is more so not leadership necessarily, but just talking to referees, then I think who better than like an English player that knows the language, and he'll probably have a good relationship with the referees and things like that. I have hopes point for Rudiger. Like I've always thought like Zuma would be an interesting one, but Zuma's not going to be a factor moving forward, I suspect. So yeah, Mount, it makes a lot of sense. Just probably not next season because I'm sure Azpilicueta will be back. So they're grooming him. There's a reason Lampard did what he did. I think he even came out earlier and said, he reminds me of me and all this kind of stuff. So, you should pull up that article. Like Lampard's been coming out with quotes with
that he laid the foundation.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff. So
go and sit down, man.
I still haven't seen that article or the interview that he done. So
go and sit down, Jerry.
It was with Matt Law, I think, which is interesting.
Even better, Matt Law. Thank you very much.
Matt Law was the one who was breaking a bunch of stuff about Rudiger, and he had all this inside information. Then Lampard comes out with Matt Law as an interview. So it's all possible?
Interconnected? Yes.
Is it possible that Lampard was the source behind a lot of Law's stuff?
Yes. It's not possible.
And if that's the case, then if we go back and we read Matt Law, we could kind of just be reading what Frank Lampard wants us to know.
Yes. From Walker to whole panel, if you can sign just one current player for Chelsea, who would you purchase? Keep up the good work, HH. Love it. Thank you for the dub, Walker. Thank you very much. So, to the whole panel, if you can sign just one current player for Chelsea, who would you purchase? Now, it's very funny you asked that because one of the topics I put up there was Harry Kane. I've always said that Chelsea need a finisher, just a striker. I think if you could just choose one player, okay, yes, I'd like, a good left back, a creative player. Chelsea do not have a quality creative player, but if one player, a guy who is just Chelsea do not have a quality striker. Giroud is functional. Tam is pretty good, but quite young. Havertz is a multi-purpose player. He's not really a striker, quote unquote, per se. So I said a striker. So for me, if Kane is available, Harry Kane. Because my thing is that who else is there? Because Lewandowski, how many strikers right now are on the market right now? So Lukaku, the thing about Lukaku is that I'm not sure whether Lukaku would fit. I think Lukaku fits that Conte system very well. And I think you have to put Lukaku in a system that works best for him. I'm not sure whether Lukaku would work well with how these players are and so forth. I think he works first in a more pragmatic Italian old school system that Conte has. For Kane, this is how he can drop in and how he can link in with other guys as well, and just his predatory instincts that I think no one else has to the degree of him. I think Kane and him Premier League, in the Premier League and so forth, I think he would slot in very well there. So I would say, yeah. Because I'm trying to think of you can't get Benzema. He's a Real Madrid guy. Lewandowski, I still think he'll probably stay at Bayern and so forth, and I'm not sure that could happen. So apart from those guys, Cannibal Suarez is obviously at Atletico. I wouldn't take Immobile. Haaland, he's most likely going to stay at Dortmund. Kane seems the most realistic. Eddie? If you one player that Chelsea would sign. Is that his stock? Or is that...
I think so.
Oh, I thought he was just thinking.
Yeah. It looked like he was just.
Yeah. I thought he was just thinking.
Bricknet.
Yeah.
I told you about it before, man.
Oh,
Daniel, you go. Yeah.
Pogba. One, I like Paul Pogba. I think he should have been a Chelsea player in 2015, so that should have happened. Playing with Conte, perfect midfield. And even if you wanted to, you could drop Conte back and play him more as a lone DM. I know people aren't really big fans of that, but then Conte would have the freedom to do what he wants in the box-to-box role, play Mount in a 4-3-3.
But would Pogba help Chelsea win games, though?
Yes.
With the players that Chelsea have.
Look, I would suspect that Chelsea already know they need a striker. So I'm not worrying about which striker to go get. Whoever they get is going to be better than what exists. So the club knows that. I would want them to go get Pogba plus the striker that I know you're already going to get. You're thinking that's what they need. I'm more of like, well, who do I want? I like Pogba, man.
Okay, see, now that's okay. Now, before I come to it, now that's different. So if we're now going subjective, who I would like...
You want Verratti. Let's just keep it real.
Marco will be all right. But but if
you want a midget... actually, I can't say that. You want a Oompa Loompa midfield, a Smurf midfield.
That's just as bad, man. For me, I would, if I was just to... I wouldn't mind having the Oos. I really wouldn't mind having the Oos.
I thought about wingers. I thought about Sancho. I thought about
Sancho as well.
Yao Felix. I thought about what's the guy's name? Mahrez. I was thinking, Salah as well. But the player I landed on was Pogba, just because I feel like if you could solidify the midfield with somebody who's going to play for the next, 5, 6, 7 years, that would be ideal. And then I don't know what you do with Kovacic or Jorginho or whomever, but sell them and then use the money on an actual striker. But
Eddie,
Daniel's still my answer. Because I knew
you froze. You froze.
I knew someone was gonna go striker, and HH went striker. And when you look at this team, striker is an issue because it's a glaring thing that you see because of how bad Timo Werner is. But one thing,
he froze again.
Bricknet. He'll be back. No, I think I get what you guys are saying.
He's on the other side of the world, guys.
I'm back, guys. I'm back.
Okay. Hey,
what were you doing? What were you doing?
So the people that do my internet people, they came to my building. It was like, what's going on with the internet? Because I completed it. Recently, my internet has been slow.
What is wrong with you guys, man? Yeah, we live in 2021, and you guys have BrickNet.
No.
I explained mine to HH.
The money I pay for internet is like, I think $34 every month. So those people are making it slow. I was like, no, I'm getting the highest internet because I pay alone. I pay apart from my parent, I pay alone. I have a separate payment I do. So I was like, if this thing keep working this way, I'm gonna go to the office and just disconnect and say that I don't want it anymore. So they have to just talk to me and apologize. Like, why you apologize? I'm paying this kind of money, and I'm a cybersecurity. I can easily fix this myself. What's going on with you guys?
I got McDonald's Wi-Fi.
So if if you don't make sure things are okay, I'm gonna just go to the office and call the main man. I want to speak to the manager. What's going on? I'm not working with you guys anymore. So give him my money.
Next week, Eddie's gonna be at Starbucks.
No. Nah, there's next week will be fine. There's a upgrade rubbish going on with the service provider around my area, so it goes
I got you.
in and out. That's why I told HH before the show. But hey, Pogba's the guy because Chelsea need.
Oh my god!
What are you guys talking about?
Wow. So basically, Walker asked us from the chat that if you could pick one player that you would want at Chelsea, who would it be? One player of Chelsea by in your view, for you personally.
Who was your pick, HH?
I went. Oh no. So it was Kane, but then when I reread the question, I then said the Oos. So if it's just personally speaking, preference the Oos.
Yeah. So I went Pogba. Eddie would go Pogba as well, but he keeps freezing.
Hey, well, relax.
So
no, wait. Nigerian Wi-Fi is actually pretty damn good. Trust me. I've been to Nigeria. Like it's weird. So you can't fix electricity and so forth. I get it. You know, there are guys that make money off selling generators and so forth. So I can't have lights. NEPA takes lights, but the internet is bloody good and actually better than in most places in England.
I don't want to talk about Nigeria.
Make it make sense.
I don't want to talk about Nigeria. I've done that country since childhood, so let's just move on. I'm a United citizen. I am a USA citizen. So I can decide to disown Nigeria whatever I feel like. I've disowned that country since childhood. That's not a country anymore, please.
Nigerians love nothing more than talking shit about Nigeria. It's so funny.
No. As I said again, look, I told you, like, okay, let's not even get into it here. Because I can't do that. I can't do that to my country in public. Like, let's do it off air. We can do it off air, but not on air. I'm not going to do that publicly. All right, go.
I think for me, I'll go with Labiu. Why I'll go with Labiu? Labiu is more of a creator.
It's a hat trick, HH.
Because if Labiu and Pogba play together, HH, that's a combo I've been dreaming of.
If Labiu and Pogba play, you mean
no? Labiu and Golo Conte play together. Oh my God, 11. You just play them 4-3-1. That's a combo I've been dreaming of for a very long time. Labiu Conte, just put them together. Hey, flair, athleticism, goal scoring, creating. Oh my God, 11.
Yeah, like Conte and Pogba in 4-2-3-1. Mount could play number 10 and you'd be fine with it. You know. So.
Wait, Abdullah, can you just respond to this?
Abdullah, you can't do that, bro. African is your home. The white people will never say. Samuel, I am a United States citizen. I have my citizen with me already. So I have disowned Nigeria in childhood. That country is full of bullshit and bullcrap and mess. That country is just somehow. How can we live in a country without no light? But you're telling me we have a good Wi-Fi and no light. And those idiots are making money with generator, but they can't even provide light for us in Africa. We're literally dying of light. NEPA. It doesn't make any sense, man. And you're telling me you're gonna make money with Wi-Fi? What? My brother was calling me last week. I was like, hey, bro, man, we don't suffer for this country, no light. But those two people, they make money with Wi-Fi. I was just looking at them. I was just laughing, like, bro, chill, bro. I live in America, bro. I don't live in that country. So don't tell me those book up there. I'm not that country. If I go, I already said, if I go back home to visit and no light, they are in trouble. Me, I must go back home and see light. If they burn the papa with me, they don't put light for them. For us, if they burn their way.
Okay, so look, man. Hopefully Eddie can rejoin us again, man.
That's a so hate.
Was it?
The comments.
Oh no, it's going well. It's good. You see now you've just quite confused me because you now puts me just like okay, let me just focus.
Next topic.
Yeah, next up. So Villa, last day of the season. Do Chelsea botch this up, Daniel? Do Chelsea botch this up?
I have a problem. And my
go
problem is
to him.
Jamie Carragher, Harry Redknapp, Gary Neville, you did a bunch of clowns and stupid idiots. You bunch of clowns.
What the hell just happened?
clowns. I understand you. I know you hate Chelsea. I know because Chelsea has money. Roman has money. So Chelsea is a bigger club. I know. So Chelsea has money. So we know. So I know you hate Chelsea, but you cannot tell me Chelsea is gonna. So Leicester City and Liverpool is gonna qualify that Chelsea. You guys are a bunch of clowns, man. We stupid idiot and medical just telling. You see Sunday. I'm gonna say them like gonna choke Chelsea because the Jack Grealish is back. Leicester City is gonna best sports because Harry Kane is leaving, and Liverpool has the momentum because they have the fans in their feet. They're gonna get the heck out of it. I don't care, man. Who the heck is Jack Grealish? I don't care, man. I don't care. So if you don't know how to do a pundit, get your heck out of Sky Sports. Pretty easy, simple. Why are you officiating Sky Sports? If you can't even say simple thing and stop saying rubbish. I'm tired of this Gary Neville, Harry Redknapp and bullshit. If they don't do anything, shut up your mouth. Shut up. Simple. Very easy, man.
The kiss of teeth.
Oh, Lord. Eddie, man, talk to me in Villa, man. Last day of the season, do Chelsea F this up?
I feel like he ain't gonna get no sponsorships.
Speaking of sponsorships,
what about Manscaped? What happened with Manscaped?
bro, I told those guys that, look, guys, I mean, look, it ain't gonna work. I mean, no. Can I just say, okay, very quickly, man.
We got free razors and we got free shaving sticks and stuff.
Do you realize that AFTV, the Angry Joe Show, all these channels that have millions,
everybody
have
on
Manscaped,
man.
What the hell do you? Because obviously they sent us an email that, oh, sorry, but you didn't reach the quota and so forth. If you think you can announce it, and I was like, guys, man, look, you've given your stuff to some of the biggest channels on freaking YouTube, and expect us to compete with AFTV, the Angry Joe Show, Football Terrace.
You asked me a question and you said, why did I not choose Nigeria? This is the same thing that's happening to Manscaped. You decided to choose London or UK as your home. So you're not choosing Africa. They decided that this guy is black. I don't want to work with black people. So I prefer to have people who are white people who understand stuff. So
Because I was wondering, because like the Manscaped ads have gone away. So I was like, what happened?
Wait. What's the name of that guy from Boondocks? Is it Ruckus?
Uncle Ruckus. Yeah.
So because I'm like, guys are saying that you're self-hate. You've turned your back on Africa. You've turned your back on black people. You want to be white and everything. What's going on, man? Oyibo now, Oyibo.
Yeah.
Oyibo now, Oyibo. Oyibo will choke your eye now.
People thought I don't love Nigeria. I love Nigeria, but we can't have a country who is depriving us of our rights.
Oyibo now choke your eye. Oyibo don't go leave you for floor. Go up your own people now.
You are using MacBook, right? And I'm using HP as a computer. As black people, we can easily do stuff on MacBook and HP. We can easily do stuff ourselves. We have this intelligence and smartness in us. Why is white people using our brain? Why? That I don't understand. I don't know. I'm a graduate in Nigeria. I went to Abeokuta. I studied in the University of Abeokuta, UNAB. I'm a graduate. So being a graduate, I can't even work in my country until I have to leave Africa and come back here. It doesn't make any sense. That you think that I'm going to do what?
So my thing is, though, but as a Kane in live comments, are you going to use your expertise to go and help Nigeria?
I'm not using stupid expertise because it's not useful. It's not useful, man. I want to make money. I need money, man. I can't make money.
I'm like it. When you make money, why won't you use some of that money to help rebuild Nigeria?
What is my gain? What's my gain if I use them? The country doesn't even care about people there. What's my gain? America is giving me gain because I work, I go to school. I already got this, and I'm already a graduate already. I'm already working and making money. You know how much I'm making in America just working as a cybersecurity. If I calculate it in Africa for you,
big man.
No, I don't want to talk. Africa will not pay me that much I'm making in America yet. So I would rather stay here, man, and enjoy my life. What's my gain? I don't have any gain, man. What gain? I'm gonna go to Africa to do what? Doesn't make any sense. We have a whole country, a whole president. See, President Buhari doesn't even know. He doesn't even know if we are white or black or we are colored. It travel to London and go. It travel to London like going to Mushin or Ikeja every time.
You
I'm
see,
a president.
Daniel,
Doesn't make any sense, man.
what did I tell you during our discussions? I said that until you go to Africa and live in Africa, then you can then give me.
I'm not new to these conversations, HH. Like
no, so not but new. But I'm just saying.
Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner sound exactly like this. Just basically,
it's complicated.
Basically, people who have escaped Africa complaining about how shit it is. Like, I'm well aware of how bad things are.
Mm.
So,
but look, but Abdullah, my thing is that whatever you do, home, and this is what I think is my. Who's it? I think it was my uncle or something. They said, "Home is home." That's what they say. Home.
I love what you said. Home. You know why you said home is home?
Okay, never lose your roots.
Married in Africa.
Don't lose your roots.
And the reason I'm getting married to a black girl in Africa. I'm gonna bring her here. I already told her. Hey.
Why can't you go and build something in Nigeria? Why not?
Never. I already told her. You coming to Chicago with me? You're not gonna stay in that bullshit country, man. No. I'm not gonna give birth to my son or my daughter.
Pause. Time out. Abdullahi, haven't you sent a letter to Trump? After he called Nigeria a shithole country?
I did. Yeah. 2019.
But you're doing that now.
I'm doing that now. Yeah. Danny, I suffered in Africa already. So
but I'm saying, like,
calling us.
Why did you send Trump the letter if you agree with him?
Trump used a violent word to Africa and to mostly black and to Muslim people, calling us terrorists. So like, hey Trump, easy man. Islam is not terrorist. My president, I beg, we are not terrorists. Now you calling black people. No, you don't call us terrorists because I'm a Muslim doesn't make me a terrorist. So I have so many different, and I wrote it in a letter. If you don't know the definition of Islam, please shut your mouth up and don't even talk about Islam anymore. Because it's becoming annoying. It doesn't make any sense. Why are we gonna call Islam a terrorist for what? It doesn't make any. It doesn't sound well.
It doesn't sound.
Be the change you want to see. Can you read it? Adage 3, thank you. And thank you, my Nigerian friend.
The funny part. My elder brother told me so and said, since you study as a cybersecurity here, can't you come develop something in Africa? And I laughed. I said, see, if I come and develop something in Africa, the president of Africa, that his name is Buhari, we have to leave that. We have to just write a quit letter and say, I am not the president of anymore. I don't want to become the president anymore because so many things will change in Africa. You can't instead of us going this way, we're going this way in Africa. Does it make any sense? It doesn't. We have light here every time 24/7. We pay for light. Imagine us having light in Africa. And we strive and we survive for things in Africa, but we can't see something we sweat for. We can't even enjoy what we sweat for. What does that tell me? We sweat for something. Yeah, I only pay how much am I even paying for night? I'm not paying that much. But in Africa, what they make money with generator, Leicester, they hardly bring lights. Almost everything. Imagine sleeping in Africa without no light, and you'll be sweating like a Christmas goat. Like
my friend, wait. Let me read this thing.
Sweating like a Christmas goat.
Let me listen. Abdullahi, I left Africa thinking it was shit, but here in Canada, I feel alone and displaced. I'm warning you. Africa is our only semblance of identity. Don't throw it away. Baby, my friend, before you answer, Eddie, where do you stand in all of this, man? Do you still see? Because look, who cares? Look, it's the Chelsea show. Eddie, do you still feel that unlike this traitor here who just wants to be Oyibo, unlike this guy just wants to be Oyibo, do you still feel that there is a place for you and you want to help things in Nigeria?
No, I mean, you will always have that part in your heart that says there's a place that you want to go back and live in a different Africa. But the way things are at the moment, let's be factual. HH, is Africa a place you want to go back and live in?
No.
Exactly.
What? Africa's not a country, guys. Like, pick
let
me be specific. Nigeria. Let me be specific. Nigeria. Is that a place you want to go back and live in?
No,
it's good to go visit for a couple of weeks now. I think someone put up the comment there. It's a nice place to go visit. Like, there's stuff there to do. Like, you live life, enjoy, and all that. But I'm not trying to live there. I'm trying to build a life there. I'm not trying to work there. Like, man, a country like have your haircut a certain type of way.
No.
I mean,
Let me
damn.
let me tell you one quick thing, and then we'll get back to football, guys. Look, man, this is the football. We'll talk about anything here, man. It's a free reign. One quick thing. Last time I was in Nigeria, so I am at the departure lounge and so forth. So basically, what you have army guys who basically look at your passport to make sure all of your credentials are fine. So I show my. This is when I had my Nigerian passport. Show my Nigerian passport to the army guy, full army guy and everything, and then the guy says, indefinite stay. And give my passport back to me. This is an army guy, and he was envious that I had an indefinite stay in England. And also, keep in mind that there are several guys who are asking for extra small money at the airport and everything. Yeah. So if an army guy is envious of me that I have an indefinite stay in England, what does that tell you about the desperation that people have of trying to leave that country because of how poorly governed it is? Now,
let me answer.
Hey, my friend, we've politicized this.
Let me just respond to
this guy.
I understand you live in Canada alone.
Okay, Oyibo.
I also live in Chicago. I've been living in Chicago since I was 16. So, bro, I understand being lonely. I get that. But see, Nigeria is a whole country, and Africa is a whole continent. Which
and we need to help it. We cannot give up on it. We cannot give up.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm not giving up. But as long as those country doesn't use their brain, if they are thinking with their stomach or their leg, man, it's not gonna move forward. Imagine someone being a graduate in Nigeria can't even go to school, can't even go to a good company and work and make good money. Somebody is making 40,000 naira every month. What? 40K every month or 35,000 naira every month? Are you kidding me, guys? It doesn't make any sense. And you're telling me Nigeria is a giant of Africa. Giant of what? Giant of rubbish.
That's enough. That's enough. Quite a much. Shut your mouth. You said enough, man. You useless man. Eddie.
Aston Villa,
man. Talk to me. I mean, my thing is this. Do you?
I'm sorry.
No. Quite a matter. So thoughts on this one, Villa?
Oh man.
I mean, who do Liverpool have? Liverpool have got
Crystal Palace at home.
Crystal Palace.
Tottenham have
Leicester City.
Yes, yeah.
The positive for Chelsea would have been that Tottenham need to win their game because of their hate for Arsenal. But right now, with the 29-year-old Ryan Mason, or like some people, I don't know what Ryan Mason is doing in Tottenham, man.
Interim, man. The guy's an interim. The guy's going to bounce. Don't they want Ten Hag?
Ten Hag's not coming to coach a team that's not even in Europe at all. I mean, you thought finishing in the Conference League was bad. They can still make the top 6 Europa League at least, but right now it's looking shaky for them. So it's going to be a bit difficult. So again, this Chelsea should be able to win this game. But I don't trust them. I'm seeing a draw as well, so they might need help from somewhere else. That's why I mentioned the other games. I did mention, look, you might see another Kepa in this game. You might see some rotation in this game because Tuchel will be thinking about the Champions League and going, we don't want to lose that game. But I saw him after the game, and I thought a bit different. Maybe he'll play some plays, seal the game early, and then take him off. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. But if you ask me, I'll say he rotates. I'll say he gives Kepa another chance to get a clean sheet, which should put us in trouble because Jack Grealish will be smelling blood. And what's his name? The Bertrand Traore.
But people, I keep saying Grealish. Look, the season is over already. What are you going to do? And so forth. It's like, just let Chelsea win.
Grealish wants to play in Hero. He wants to play in Hero. So he's understandable.
So one game, I say that one game is not going to change Southgate's mind on Tuesday.
The bookmakers hate Chelsea Football Club. Why are you talking as if you don't know? You understand this stuff a lot, man. Sky Sports is literally putting Chelsea 4th or 5th. They're even telling you we're going to finish 6th.
Normally you'd think Chelsea win their game and everything is okay. I mean, you win, it's in your hands, done. And Liverpool should go through with a win against Crystal Palace. But it's the final day of the season, man. Something interesting is going to happen. Imagine Chelsea being 1-0 up, Leicester City are winning, and Liverpool are winning, And in the 89th minute, Bertrand Traore scores a screamer against Kepa. What a way to get knocked out of the Champions League spot.
Well, that's the first thing. Is he going to start Kepa or Mendy? It's going to start Mendy.
It's Mendy. I don't think it's going to be Kepa. It's Mendy.
Are you sure?
Are you
Yeah, because Tuchel said,
Abdullahi, before you speak, Abdullahi, make sure you are sure.
I'm sure. You know why I'm sure?
Eddie,
because when everybody was celebrating the Leicester City, Tuchel was mad. He was angry. He said, "Why are we going to be celebrating now when we have not even clinched a top four spot? This is a bigger club. We need to have that strong mentality. I'm like, let's clinch this first and celebrate. Why are we going to celebrate winning against Leicester City and kind of celebrate? No, you don't do that. That's why I said Edouard Mendy has to start that match. He has to start. If I'm seeing Kepa on Sunday, I'm gonna have a fight with Tuchel, man. I'm gonna have a fight.
That's why. That's the one thing
I want to see Mendy.
I need to understand what was the thinking behind the Arsenal lineup. Like that's the one thing that baffles me too, because I said, but that might be a game you look at this season and go, what the hell were you doing in that game? Because you win that Arsenal game, and this conversation is null and void right now. Chelsea are done.
Mm-hmm.
That loss is what makes this Aston Villa game so relevant. So Tuchel will have questions to answer if Chelsea don't make top four. You can show banking money on that.
But people doesn't understand something. I keep saying it. I don't know if Daniel kind of agree with it. I will say it again. Apart from Rudiger, Silva, Edouard Mendy for me should be the player of the season, not Mason Mount. I'm sorry to say, because that guy has become clutch so many times this season. But the fans will be like, "Oh, Mason Mount is the new Frank Lampard, so he's the player of the season. Because can run, press. Take out Mason Mount out of that team and take out Mendy. HH will finish 9th. What? Take Mendy out, we'll finish 9th. It's come close this year.
I think these are facts, guys.
HH, we'll finish 9th if take out Mendy. Edouard Mendy have saved Chelsea this year. But people come and tell me Mason Mount is this. I don't want to talk about Mason Mount because I'm gonna have an headache. I don't want to.
Mount can be the best player this season. Mendy can also be the most important. Those can be the same. Those can be both things can be correct at the same time. So Mendy is the most important, I would say. I mean, the system that Tuchel has implemented has been quite good for the goalkeepers. Even Kepa has been keeping clean sheets. So you do have to factor in playing the back five.
Yeah, but if you shoot on target,
even if you go back to last season, or if you just take the time of the Lampard, where nothing much really changed, the difference between Kepa and Mendy was marked. You could tell. I think Mendy is the most important acquisition and piece in the team, but little intrusion there. But Mount has been the best player this season. I don't think we can debate that. In large part because the team was just built around him for like the first few months. So it is what it is. But Mendy is the most important, and the FA Cup match I think was quite telling in that way. Why did Tuchel play Kepa in the FA Cup? Because he's the cup keeper, I guess, is what they think. So
before we go to our
did Kepa play in the semi-final? Can you guys remind me?
Which semi-final? Which one?
FA Cup against City.
Yeah, he's been the one keeping the FA Cup from day one.
If it's been his competition, then that's why he plays in the final.
So is there anything that anyone wants to bring up before we go to our throwback?
Which is kind of trash considering Tammy Abraham.
I want to say something.
Was the cup striker?
Feel free.
I want to say something.
If it's about trashing your country, I will mute you. So.
I've seen some people coming at me on Twitter and telling me they need a clarification why I do with Tammy Abraham. Guys, I've been supporting Chelsea since 2003. For people who doesn't understand,
I swear this guy says this every single time.
I'm gonna go on mute, bro, because
people doesn't understand the change. So for you people asking me clarification that Tammy Abraham did not at Chelsea, we had Kesma, there was what's called Aseblank, there was Kesma, there was Crespo. So before this cut, there was even Drogba that lasted so many years. There was Anelka. There were so many strikers we had. How can someone just tell me we move from those striker to now Torres, Alvaro Morata, Timo Werner, now Tammy Abraham? Oh my God in heaven. No. So I don't hate on Abraham. My problem with Abraham is I understand people doesn't rate him that highly of striker, but Abraham himself doesn't help himself. It's too much, way too much. Why? Because see Abraham someone can't tell me Abraham is 6'3" or 6'4" and still can't even position himself to be a prolific number 9. What Abraham? Somebody call it pace and power. That's what Abraham has. Just pace. Wrong. That's it. No positioning. People abuse Tuchel a lot. Why is he playing with Timo Werner? He scores offside goal. It doesn't. But what Timo Werner brings to Chelsea Football Club, Abraham doesn't bring it. I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't. Because
it's called
it
missing open goals.
It doesn't bring it.
That's what anyone is to respond.
This guy's nuts, man.
This guy is. Don't get me started on this guy, man. He literally brought up Timo Werner in the same conversation as Tammy Abraham and said Tammy Abraham doesn't bring the same things he brings. You should have just kicked him out once he said that, man. But
Eddie, I'm saying.
Hold on.
Quiet.
Hold on a minute. Again, because I mean, Tammy is a good striker. He's still learning the game. He's still young. I mean, he's still relatively young compared to other players. My thing with him is the fact that some fans overrate what he brings. I've always said if he's a good second striker at Chelsea, he's a good backup striker. Come in, maybe give us 20, 25 goals a season if you can, but you're not that guy. Tammy is not that guy. But again, for Abdullahi to then come and say, oh, Tammy doesn't offer the same thing Timo Werner offers. Come on, man. we literally said it last week. Tammy hasn't played and he's got the same number of goals as Timo Werner at this point of the season with what? More than triple the minutes?
Come on. Also, don't give me that's goal contribution crap.
Exactly. Abdullahi, what's the main point of a striker?
I understand.
Answer his question.
To score goals.
Thank you.
Why is it that in triple the minutes, Timo Werner has the same number of goals as Tammy Abraham with 1/3 the minutes? Explain that. If Tammy doesn't bring what Timo Werner brings,
I will explain that.
Explain.
When you talk about the striker, a striker
to score goals.
Apart from scoring goals, you gotta have a movement, intelligent, base, smart.
What's the most important function?
Let me explain. Intelligent, movement, and smartness in front of goal. If you want to be prolific, why do we rate Karim Benzema and Lewandowski? Do you think it's all about goals? Yes, you take goals because they have the movement, they have the intelligence, they have the smartness. Abraham doesn't have it. We are based Timo Werner. Timo Werner has this. He has the ability of being in position, having that movement. He may miss goals, yes. Every player miss goals, but we understand Timo Werner. But Abraham doesn't even have that movement.
I don't understand.
Wait. If he can't score goals, how is it? What would be better with the start?
One at a time. One at a time. Okay, guys.
Hold on.
It's about goals. If
I am not backing
6 goals,
I know. I'm not backing Timo Werner. I'm not backing.
I
have stated him a lot.
Let Abdullahi land, guys. Damn.
I am not backing Timo Werner because yes, I understand he's been a baseman and poor. But my problem with Tammy, when people say, we doesn't give him that post because his score goes against this. My problem with Tammy is you cannot be the number 9 Chelsea Football Club and you expect to succeed because we've seen strikers like Diego Costa, that have succeeded a lot. They have this art. They have the strength of the art. Even if this doesn't goes well, I still want to kind of give myself. Abraham is lazy. He doesn't want to give his best.
Let me ask you one question. Mm-hmm. If Tammy Abraham was given the same chances and opportunities that Timo Werner had, would Tammy have scored more goals than Timo Werner? Yes or no?
I'm 50-50.
Hey,
oh my!
This guy is foolish,
yes.
Man. Eddie,
yes.
We'll talk about this guy.
Yes.
I
am 50-50.
Hold on.
Because Abraham can score with an head. So I can't be the second who can even score with an head.
Abdullahi, let Eddie rock.
Abraham cannot score with his head.
Yes.
Can you tell me how many headed goals Timo Werner has scored this season? And don't count that useless goal.
Yes.
in front of the line.
Abraham is 6'3".
He put him on the-
Wait. Abraham is 6'3" or 6'4". How is that of Timothy? Maybe 5'7" or 5. So you want to tell me the difference between both of them? Abraham is tall and lanky. They can't even score with an head. How can I be striker who can't even score with an head? Get out of here, man. That's not even the striker for me, man.
Okay, hold on.
No.
This is something else. Abdullahi mentioned to be a good striker, you need to have smartness.
Positioning.
And then
Let him
goes
talk.
on.
Let him talk.
And then goes on to say Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner are different because Timo Werner has that movement, has that smartness. Abdullahi, you are the same person who has dubbed Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham 0 IQ. What is Timo Werner IQ, please? Can you tell us? What is Timo Werner's IQ?
You talk. We slate Timo Werner a lot.
Answer his question. What is his IQ? What is
You
his
need a
IQ?
number. And what's the number, Abdullahi?
In terms of what? You mean like in terms of
Football
IQ?
IQ.
Football IQ,
Timo
smartness.
Football IQ. What's the number?
I would say like maybe 10. 10 over 100. Because he's missing chances so much. So yeah. He has a low IQ in terms of scoring goals. But in terms of positioning and pace, he has everything.
Hold on. The same idiot who will score a goal with his hand and go and do a knee slide. The same person you give an IQ of 10.
And he celebrated it with fans who
Wait
may
a
not
minute.
have
Wait.
the
Okay,
vaccine.
guys. Pause.
Without
10
any
on
vaccine.
10. What's your scale, Abdullahi?
Okay.
So 10 out of what?
Okay.
10 out of 100, 10 out of 50.
When I talk about IQ in terms of Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham, the way people rate Mason Mount, I still don't rate him that high because I have an high expectation of being a Chelsea fan.
Abdullahi hates
That's
the
my
kids.
IQ. So when I want to give Timo Werner in terms of IQ, I'll give him 10 over 50 at the moment. Because
10
of
out
his
50. Okay.
yeah, because of his misfiring as a goal scorer, because we brought him in to score goals. He doesn't score that goals. That's why I'm gonna give him 10 over 10. Because if you look at those number now, those strikers, people call Lewandowski, Benzema, and those guys are prolific number. They score goals countless time every time. So Timo Werner doesn't have that scoring ability yet. So I'm gonna give him 10 because he needs to work on that, which I understand as a fans watching. So you can't even compare time.
This is actually a good question, maybe for the panel. If you had to grade, like on a scale out of 100, 100 being the best, 0 being the worst. Let's pretend we were teachers, right? So obviously 60s, anything below 60 is a fail. 70, 80, 90, that kind of grading scale. What would you grade Tammy as a striker? Like, is he A minus, B plus, B minus, C plus, C? Like, what? How would you grade him just as a striker?
I would put him. So, what percentage is a B minus?
Like 80, an
80.
Oh,
80.
Okay. I'd give him
80.
a C plus.
I'll give him a C plus. I'll say
So,
C
so
plus.
like a 70,
70, yeah.
75-ish, 77.
Yeah.
All right. I'd
for
give
me,
him like an 80. It's like a B minus. Just an 80.
I
C
don't know,
plus.
man. Okay.
You can't argue between a B minus and a C plus. You guys are going to give me over like 1 mark.
That means something. That's why they are marks, because it means
The
something.
difference between
Okay,
77
Abdullahi,
and
Abdullahi,
80.
wait. Abdullahi, what are you giving Tammy?
C minus.
C
C
minus.
minus. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you give to Werner?
I'm gonna give him D minus. Yeah, there's D plus, there's D minus.
Look,
Wait, what? Wait.
Yeah, there's A plus, A minus, B plus,
You
A minus,
give-
C plus, A minus.
You gave Abraham C minus and
Yeah.
Timo Werner D minus.
So what are we arguing?
You have the audacity to say Tammy Abraham doesn't offer. HH, please kick this guy off the chat, man.
See, this is what the problem is. I don't hate on Tammy Abraham, but I believe he still needs to improve in a lot of things. Which, when people come up with this argument of, it doesn't give Chelsea fan doesn't give him the chance. Manager that comes, there's a reason. I will repeat myself again. There is a reason Thomas Tuchel doesn't play minutes.
That reason has nothing to do with football.
Actually,
No.
It has
There is a
nothing to do with
reason.
football.
because he didn't
There's a
sign a
reason.
contract.
It's got nothing to do with football.
You guys are right.
Political, bro.
By the way, you guys are right. Like Tammy is a B is too much. He's like a C. He's like 75,
C plus,
70,
which is really
74. Yeah, that's pretty good for an academy player. I mean, you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, exactly.
If an A+ is like Lewandowski, Benzema, Suarez, Kane, Lukaku, then C.
All right, let me hear this. So from 88th bus stop, who says the way the defense, I think it's for the double 88th bus stop man. He says the way the defense improved shows Silva has been spitting out secrets to these boys that legends only share at the twilight of their careers. Is the defense really all down to Silva, or is it more so the system that Tuchel is playing? Silva has been good.
It's Tuchel. It's
a system, yeah.
But Silva has been very good though. And I say I was see if Silva never left AC Milan, he would be definitely one of the best defenders in the world. But I think once he went to PSG, his career tanked. So that's pretty much what led to it. So
how is 75 a C?
75 is C+.
Have you not been to school, Eric? 90 to 100 is an A. 80 to 90 is a B. 70 to 80 is a C. So 75 is a C.
Some schools, Daniel. Schools. No,
that's true, Daniel. In my school, 75 was not a C.
What was it? In the school I go to in America, yeah.
B.
95, 92, 97, 95, 92 is A+. 80, 85 is B+. And then I think 79 plus or towards 80, that's B-. 75 for me in my school is C-. That's
either way, if it's minus or plus, I'm not big on minus plus. It's just a C. So
all right, guys. So we are here for a throwback, and this one.
But wait a minute, have hope. Just pause quickly. In your school, a 75 was a B. What kind of brick school is this?
I mean, Daniel. When they have no hope of students getting 90, they have to grade an A somehow. So they had to bring the scale backwards.
Look, honestly, I can't remember what it was.
You see, HH went to school with a bunch of he went to school with a bunch of zero high Qs.
75 is what do you call it? A+ in your school. We need to have a problem.
If a 75 is a B, you wouldn't trust that doctor, that lawyer, that engineer.
I live in America, yeah. If you are telling me C+ is A+, 75 is C+, A+ in your school, you need to go back to Africa.
Wait. Speaking of school, this is what I said again. So when I was in school in Nigeria, shout out to Corona School in Ikoyi, I was pretty good at English, but not so great. But here I was thinking that, obviously the white man's education is more advanced than the black man's education. So when I then moved to England, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to work so hard to really get along with these English guys. Lo and behold, I found out that when I was 12 years old, I had a spelling age of 16, and I was the best speller in the whole school. So what I found was that the education in Nigeria was more advanced for our age in comparison to the education that they had in England. Interesting.
Yeah, you are very right. Because I did statistics and calculus, so I understand the level of the way they do.
So basically, if you were good at math in Nigeria and you moved to England, America, you'd be much better than everyone else there.
Yeah.
So let's do our throwback, man. Oh, Andrew Laurie says that A level for the maths, 60% was a B, because UK is better than US schools. You see, it's stuff is different. So I remember, so you could get an A for 75% would be considered an A because of how they would grade things, because it was so hard to get that 75%. So it's fine to 80. You actually end up being either like a B or like an A or something.
UK A level. So it's okay. Y'all grading scale is wild. All right.
Yeah, but basically it doesn't mean that it's easier. It just means that the way that the market is a lot harsher. So it's hard to even get 40%. So guys, for our thing, hopefully Eddie's here for our throwback. So here's our throwback.
Wait a minute. We're gonna guess. I'm gonna go with
you'll never guess. You will never guess. You will never guess it. Because it's out of left field.
Wait a minute. Are they black or white?
I'm not gonna say. I'm like, who do you think it is?
Marcos Alonso Arrizabalaga.
Okay, I don't think it is there. So let's pull it up. So let's say Gigi Locken says 55% for A in A level maths. you're bugging, man. That's why.
No.
That's
Man,
why.
I studied calculus and statistics, and the USA is different. The way they grade, I know I haven't been to UK before, so I don't know the way they grade maths there. But here is different. Calculus and statistics level of way they grade HH way different. So there's 92 for A, 95 for A. There's A plus and A minus in America here. So 95, 97, A plus, 92,
All right, let's
A minus.
let's see. So throwback, guys. So guys, here's our throwback, man.
Let me talk. Let me go first. HH, let me go first.
Yeah, I would have never guessed. So
HH, you see,
Left field.
this is why I have to come at you. You know why? You rate Hazard a lot. Oh my God, in heaven, you rate him a lot. It was in shape for 7.5 years because of this lady. Immediately he left Chelsea Football Club and went to Madrid. He started going back to McDonald's, Burger King. I started eating Burger King, and it was like 50 or 100% overweight. Now tell me, coincidentally, Eva Carneiro wasn't even the doctor of Real Madrid. Now Hazard went to Real Madrid. He was injured for 2 years. No Eva Carneiro. All what he's doing is like publishing McDonald's, publishing Burger King. Doesn't make any sense, man. You have to give credit to Eva Carneiro because of what she did. This lady is what you call it's called a smooth touch to a player. When you give them a smooth touch, oh my God, they will never get injured for like 10 years. That's how good of a doctor she is. She's done I don't know why Chelsea sacked it. It was under Mourinho that she left. I don't know why. Imagine she's still here like this. The kind of stupid, ridiculous injury we get, we're not gonna be getting. We're gonna be okay because she need to go back to work, man. Eva Carneiro, where have you been? Hazard need you, man. Hazard need you. Come back, go back to Madrid and work with Hazard. Let's see the Hazard we saw in Chelsea and Lille. We need the Hazard back because the Hazard we're seeing now with McDonald's and Burger King, man. We don't want the Hazard selling McDonald's and Burger King. 100% 100 millimeter or kilogram. We don't want that, man. Eva Carneiro, we need the smooth touch on Hazard. He needs to work back on Hazard, man.
Daniel,
I don't feel like talking about this.
Why not?
Because it's just
Just give what thoughts are swirling in that very deep, concise brain of yours.
Please stop doing that. Like I really, like I said, I don't like when you do that because I don't know if you're being real or fake. So it annoys me.
Both. Being both actually.
Okay, the reason I don't like talking about this subject is because I feel like a lot of people, because football is such a male-dominated space, whenever a woman steps into it, the first thing people do is they look at her looks, right? So because she's not I guess she's still alive, because she's not an ugly woman, people just automatically like, yo, like that, all of the tweets or like Drogba was faking groin injuries, or like when she was run out to the pitch and people would like take photos of her while she's kneeling over and bending over. Like it was just really uncomfortable. And it's the same thing that happens with Marina Granovskaya. Like a lot of the time people don't want to be critical of Marina Granovskaya because like fantasies that people have in their head about what they would do if they were here and doing this. So Eva Carneiro was another one where it's just like the dialogue around her was sexualized for a reason that it shouldn't have been. She was just a doctor or a physio. So for there to be all of this like sexual innuendo and people like, oh my God, heart eyes and all this kind of stuff, it just makes me uncomfortable. So I don't like talking about it. What we can talk about though is
the incident, Mourinho thing.
Yeah, I was like the incident that got her sacked, I suppose, or that created friction. I was on the side of Mourinho on that one. I mean, it happened in the Swansea game. It was the first game of the season. Do you remember the game where Gary Kane was getting roasted by Montero?
Yeah.
Disgusting game. And I think someone was injured, and Mourinho didn't want the clock to stop, or he wanted the clock to stop. I don't remember exactly what. And I think there was a foul, and if a player receives treatment, they have to come off the pitch. So the doctors go on, you get treated, you have to come off the pitch. It might have been Azpilicueta, but
I think he just wants them to go on.
Exactly. He didn't want the doctors to run on the pitch
yeah.
because I think they were already down a man, if I'm not mistaken. There might have been a red card in that game, but even if there wasn't, that player would have to come off. Swansea had a set piece, and he didn't want that player to come off based on the treatment that they got. So he was mad at the principal that you ran on the pitch without consulting me. Now, from the physio perspective, I really don't care about what the manager thinks. If I think one of my players is injured, my care or duty of care is to the player. So if people are saying it was Hazard, if Hazard was down, she shouldn't really care about what Mourinho wants. Her job is to make sure Hazard is okay. So she runs on the pitch. But I could sympathize with what Mourinho was thinking. That caused beef. Obviously, Mourinho he had just won the league. He felt a bit high and inflated, so he felt like he could do what he wanted. And I do think it was maybe the second domino to fall in Mourinho's second tenure. There were some preseason issues, and obviously he wasn't getting the players that he wanted. I think they made the players go on a postseason tour of Asia after they won the league. I believe this was when they signed the Yokohama deal. So they had to go and do some Asian sponsorships. I'm pretty sure he wasn't happy about that. Then he wanted Pogba. They didn't sign him. They gave him Pedro, Djilabodji, Michael Hector, Baba Rahman, like all of these players that we look back and we're thinking, that probably wasn't the best thing to do after you win a league. And I think her standing with the players was good. So Ivanovic, just all of the players that have been there for a long time. I think the politics behind the scenes of the people who work with the club. So I don't know if there's a masseuse guy. I think his name is Bobby or Billy or some masseuse that's at Chelsea. He's like a Scottish guy, and apparently he's like really funny. And everybody loves him, and he's been like a piece of furniture basically from maybe even before Abramovich bought the club. Those kinds of people we don't necessarily see all the time unless you actually watch a lot of the social media, but those are people that the players really enjoy and like having around. So for Billy the masseuse, I think is his name. So if the players really liked her and he went a bit mad, which he did, you were kind of asking to rock the boat a bit, and we saw what happened with him. So I don't think she's the reason, but she was a reason why Mourinho's second tenure didn't go that great. I was trying to talk a little bit long to see if Eddie's back, but
I think he may be out the freaking paint, man. No, look, man, I mean, it's one of those things of where you're in a very difficult position as a doctor for a football club because you are a doctor, you're a professional, you're in medicine, but at the same time, you work for a football team. So, and I think that's to say, in life, it's all about balance. You can't view life black and white. You always look at it as a balance. You have to find the balance between what is medically right and what is best for the organization that I work for. So I can understand why you say, oh, someone is down, boom. But then at times when you should be like, understand the dynamics of what this team is about, understand the dynamics of football. And once you understand those dynamics, they know that if I do this, I could put this team that I work for in a difficult position. So unless I know that they are seriously injured where I have no other choice, I have to now assess this and always remember that, yes, I'm a doctor, but also I work for Chelsea Football Club. I work for Inter Milan. I work for Barcelona, blah, blah, blah. And what can I do to still ensure that we are at the most competitive with regards to, okay, 11 players are playing, this player doesn't come off, which therefore puts us in a compromised position during the game. So it is what it is. And I think, look, as I said again, man, it's you're always going to get that in this sport, where it's very much, if you're a woman and so forth, you're always going to get that with those views. Hence why, what's happened to her? And
I think she went to Brentford, or Barnsley, some B club that was in the Championship, or maybe it was Charlton. I don't remember, but she ended up suing the club, I think.
Yeah. She tried to sue the club.
There was a whole court case and everything, so which she may or may not have won. I didn't keep up to date on that, but yeah, it was just I was never quite comfortable with like.
Hey. So Carneiro operates a clinic in Harley Street, specializing in sports medicine. Yeah, I've been to Harley Street. Yeah.
So she works at the sports medical group. She a private consultant in London. Yeah, private consultant in London.
Harley Street, where I went to get my back cracked in Harley Street. So it's like a famous street of doctors and stuff.
Wow.
So
that's not bad. Have you guys talked about Kane? Harry Kane?
Yeah. Well, no. Well, you can mention because I said that. So actually, if Kane. Do you think Kane would come
to Chelsea? A food critic now.
Look, relax.
This is what my problem is. I've been listening to people talking about Harry Kane for a very long time. We need a striker, and I understand Daniel Levy's problem with rivalry stuff and everything. And I love what Daniel tweeted out on his Twitter. Is 100% not sure. Or either getting Harry Kane going to Chelsea, but we know Daniel Levy, money speaks. Whenever anything that involves money, you don't want to joke with Daniel Levy. And based on the report we're hearing, I'm hearing they want to give Tottenham Hotspur Abraham and 100 million for Harry Kane. I was like, what?
Actually, you know what? That wouldn't be the worst. Like
100 million plus Abraham?
No. The idea that if one player has to go across from one team, another player would have to go across from the other. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, like, if you're going to have one player go from Chelsea to Spurs, then it would kind of be good to have a player go from Spurs to Chelsea. That way, it's even in a sense. Where, yeah, you got one of ours, but we got one of yours. Maybe that's the only way it could work. Is if there was a player in the deal. And if it's Abraham, I don't think Spurs fans will be too mad at that.
But would Spurs fans want
Kane
to move to Chelsea? Would Spurs fans want Kane to move to Chelsea, though? That's the thing.
No. Chelsea fans wouldn't want Abraham to go to Spurs. Like, of course not.
The problem is all about. On my show, I love what Sam said. Sam said he needs to see if Harry Kane is matured enough to tell Daniel Levy I want to leave. You can't be in sport for like 16 years and never win a trophy. And people call him one of the best strikers in world football. You have to make a decision. And the decision maker right now, he said he wants his future to be resolved before the Euro in 3 weeks' time. That's a very long time, which I get. But Harry Kane is a prolific number 9. And do I see Man City paying that kind of money for Harry Kane? Possibly yes, possibly no. But I'm not sure their budget in terms of getting Harry Kane. So this is where the problem is. Chelsea would love to get Harry Kane, but the 150 Daniel Levy is better. I don't think Chelsea is going to pay 150 for Harry Kane. The max is going to be like 100 million plus Abraham, which I believe was not going to be too bad because they love Abraham's finishing. So getting Abraham will not be bad for Tottenham Hotspur.
Wait a minute, have hope. You don't follow Chelsea. You don't follow Chelsea.
What?
You don't follow Chelsea Football Club.
I can't wait. There's something wrong with your voice. I can't hear your thing too well. I'm like, continue. No, I don't know. I'll try and reconnect. I'm like, continue.
So the problem is, I will prefer like what it's tough. People say Romelu Lukaku. I get Romelu Lukaku. I get that because I think Inter Milan are booked. They need money. So Romelu going for Lukaku will not be bad. But this is where the problem is. Getting Harry Kane now, does it stop us from getting our other targets? That is what my problem is. Does it stop us?
How will it stop?
Because Harry Kane is Tottenham Hotspur demanding 150 for Harry Kane, and I don't think Chelsea is going to pay 150 for Harry Kane because it's 27, and I believe it's Tottenham Hotspur. I don't think. I know he's a goal scorer, but I'm a little bit skeptical on Harry Kane in terms of because he's an injury-prone player. Harry Kane gets injured a lot.
Compared to what Chelsea have now, Harry Kane is a far better option than Tammy, Giroud, Havertz, Werner as a striker. Chelsea needs somebody who is an expert at putting the ball in the net. And this guy has been averaging at least 25 to 30 goals every season for the past few years. So if you combine that with the goals around and so forth, that has to be positive.
But this is where the question is. That's my question. Does Harry Kane wants to go to Chelsea or Manchester City? That's
There's the tweet Abdullahi was talking about. HH. It's in the chat. So there you go. If you were really curious.
Does Harry Kane? That is where the problem is. Does Harry Kane, does he want to go to Tottenham Hotspur or does he want to go to Chelsea? If you want to go to Tottenham, Chelsea, you win trophy. Man City, you guaranteed 100% winning the trophy. Does he? Who was the last player Chelsea bought or signed from Tottenham Hotspur? See, that's where the problem is. Who? I can't even find which player. I can't even remember because the last player I remember was 10 years.
History is overrated, man. History is overrated.
History is overrated, but who are you dealing with? Daniel Levy. That's where the problem is.
Daniel Levy wants money. If you offer him enough money.
Look at the names who've
gone.
Look
at the names: Johnny Brook, Colin Lee, Mike Hazard. What?
No relation.
When last they did it, Tottenham have a player as good as Harry Kane or a striker?
Look at Modric. Look at Modric.
Modric already agreed.
Modric was nowhere near as good at Tottenham than he was when he hit his strike.
But the point is, he was going to go to Chelsea.
He was going to go to Chelsea.
But then somebody came with, I think, even less money than what Chelsea were offering. And because they have this thing, they sold him to Madrid. Because why would you sell him to Chelsea?
Yeah. United or City. That's it, Eric. That's it. So I don't see it happening in Chelsea.
Does that say 1985 or 1986? Was the last time?
1985.
Martin Rosario. That's what my issue is. I don't think he's gonna go to Chelsea. That's why I don't know where this logic is coming from. I do not think he's gonna go.
Yeah,
Harry Kane to Chelsea. I don't think it's gonna work, brother. I do not think it's gonna work. I would love Harry Kane in Chelsea because we need a goal scorer, but realistically, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think so. Harry Kane. I would love him in Chelsea because of the way we need a prolific number, but Tottenham to Chelsea.
Listen, the only thing here would be if he goes to City, that means City don't get Haaland, and City don't need Haaland.
Because I'm hearing
that's one less place that Haaland goes if you guys love Haaland so much.
Because I think City wants to go for Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan.
Maybe no. I think they are calling him, man. No, this is for me. My thing is, realistically speaking, Kane is most likely going to go to Man United. That is what is most likely going to happen. Like I'm just putting it out there. I think for Chelsea,
maybe
it's difficult now because I believe Haaland is going to stay. Dortmund have secured top 4. I think Haaland and Sancho are both going to stay at Dortmund. So who is out there that Chelsea can get? Who is a good quality striker that can get? Lewandowski,
Lukaku.
Lukaku is living in Inter Milan, and also let me tell you about Lukaku. How are you sure that Lukaku is going to work at Chelsea? Lukaku, for me, I think he works for that system that's constantly
Answer the question, have hope. Is Lukaku better than Werner?
Yes.
So who cares about the rest?
Who cares? As long as he's scoring goals, it's game over.
Just think, how many times has Werner made you suffer?
Exactly. Lukaku will score goals for you.
You will suffer less with Lukaku, even if they're still suffering. I sound like Conte, but
it's like you know what? It's like beggars can't be choosers. Werner is dog trash, so Lukaku is a full-on upgrade. My thing is that why get better when you can get best or most ideal? Now, if all you can get is better, boom. But at least strive for the very best you can get for your system.
Okay.
So is Lukaku the best striker for this particular Chelsea team?
Would you wait another year? So let's say Haaland, you wouldn't. So you want somebody no matter what.
No.
Well,
so this is where the issue. See, Lukaku is not the best striker. It will score goals.
I never said Lukaku. No, wait, relax. I never said Lukaku was the best striker. I said I don't think he's the ideal striker. My gosh, if Chelsea are going for Lukaku, boom, let's ride. Just that I've watched Inter Milan very closely and so forth. And I just think that Lukaku fits specifically what Inter are doing. How can you tell me that Lukaku somehow just became better in one summer, going from United to Inter Milan?
Do you think Lukaku playing with Werner would actually work?
No, because Werner isn't Lautaro Martinez. What helps Lukaku a lot is that Lautaro Martinez is a very good player, and they formed a good partnership. Werner is a
No,
Werner
I'm just
is-
wondering
is
if
not-
that partnership could work.
No, Werner is not a football player. He doesn't have a football brain. Like
But
he's a
fast.
football player.
But he's fast. So
Daniel.
if Lukaku could win some long balls, and,
Daniel, Timo
you know.
Werner is not a football player. I don't know what he is, but he's not a football player. Lautaro Martinez is a football player, so therefore
he's a runner. He's a track star.
Let me put it this way to you. Let me put it this way for you, HH.
He's a runner. He's a track star.
Robert Lewandowski is 32 years of age. 60 million for Robert Lewandowski or 80 million for Lukaku, who is 27 years. What do you choose?
I have to go with Lewandowski.
Do you think Chelsea is going to go for Lewandowski because of his age? I don't think so.
Oh no. What I
It's
would
the-
do
it's-
is go for Lewandowski, but I think
32
they'll go
years
for
is still
Lukaku because he's younger. Look at how young Havertz, Werner, and all these guys are. So they'd obviously go with Lukaku, but I would go for Lewandowski because it's Lewandowski, and also 32 ain't old in today's world, man. You can
Chelsea
still
has
get
a policy.
3 years.
We have a policy. 32 years of age, I'm sorry.
Hey, look, if you see what Cavani's doing, and Chelsea had an opportunity to sign Cavani a few months ago or transfer windows ago, whenever it was,
Now
you
imagine
would look at
Chelsea
that
had
and think
Cavani.
you'd rather have that guy on a free than pay 50 million for Werner. At least then you can save that money and get the actual real guy. But I guess everybody kind of thought Werner is the guy. Even Liverpool were desperate to have him.
Exactly. Because HH, we need the
It's just-
defender, we need the midfield, also we need the
Bundesliga tax.
The problem is, I don't want us to spend all this money on getting the striker. We need something
It's
to
not
improve
your
the
money
midfield.
though, Abdullahi.
I know,
So, like,
I know.
who
So,
cares
like-
if they waste it?
But spiritually, it is.
The problem is, with this squad needs a defender,
Was that Wakanda? What was that?
a midfielder, and a striker. And that is what we need. We don't need to spend too much, just a little bit of things we need to spend and we move. But I do not want Chelsea Football Club to just waste their energy for the whole summer and go for a striker. It doesn't make any sense. If the first option doesn't work, go for the second. Second doesn't work, go for the third. At least get someone in that can naturally score goal. A goal scorer, please. Don't
Can we
mind
look at these?
giving me.
Can we look at these Lampard quotes just quickly?
I've listened to the code and I'm getting sick and tired of it.
He's in the past.
Can you pull up the Lampard quotes? I'm
HH.
I'm quite curious what the Lampard quotes are. So
Why? Do you
I've
have
listened
them?
to it. Yeah, it's on the Athletic. It's on the Athletic. Just go to Athletic or you're gonna see the full code there. Lampard code after being sacked. I've listened to it. It's it. I am sick and tired of just listening to a place. I'm sick.
have hope. Have you read them?
No,
read it.
I don't want to reread them.
They're interesting.
I wanted to stay longer. I wanted that real tangible success, which at Chelsea is winning cups and winning league, but it doesn't happen. Hopefully, I have laid down strong foundation for the future. It will not better for you. What fully foundation do you need? Please, what? Play pragmatic, cost and inshallah football. Is that a foundation? Really?
Hence why I said like I didn't want to
Don't let
get
me
into
get
this stuff.
What stupid foundation do you lay down? Messi, Manta,
Because basically,
with James. Really?
this man puts me through so much stress
Stupid work.
and anger and so forth that I don't want to abuse this man. I don't want to abuse this man right now. It's like, my mates, you are loved.
Hopefully,
You are a
I've laid
legend.
down strong
What
foundation.
foundation do you lay down?
Foundations.
Please. Play cost and inshallah.
Foundations.
Cost and inshallah.
You see, look, man,
to Timo Werner. Christian
don't
Pulisic.
anger
I
me,
mean,
man. Don't
it's
get
funny.
me.
Like it's kind of one player is the foundation. Maybe two. We'll give him Reece James, but I mean the Tammy experiment hasn't gone well.
He said,
so.
when people ask him why did you give Messi Man captain, he said because Messi Man has the ability to press, run, doesn't give up. He has that leadership mentality. I said, what? Are you mad, Lampard? Terry was given the captain because he has what? He can coordinate that defense. Please, what does Messi Man coordinate in that midfield? What does he coordinate? Run, press, shoot.
You guys know Lampard's linked with the Crystal Palace job.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Palace manager. He will.
So Martin says Abdullahi Atletico almost there, bro.
Rosario, baby, Saturday we getting that money. This man says he's gonna ban me.
Oh, do you guys have a bet? You have a wager?
Rosario is giving me
How much?
on the $1,000.
1,000.
Maybe, yeah.
What was the bet? What
I
was the
said
bet?
Atletico is gonna win the Spanish La Liga. I say 100% they're winning the Spanish. HH said Barcelona and I said Atletico is winning it.
You paid like that, Martin?
Already said they bet the money on Atletico to win.
$1,000 or like we talking peso or
dollars, yeah.
Naira?
That's
Rosario almost there. Saturday is almost there.
Rosario, you better give me my cuts. Give me my cuts.
Pop that bodies.
Give me my 30%.
Pop that bodies. Pop that bodies.
I don't think that's how it goes, bro.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm the lyrics. I'm pretty sure those are not the lyrics. It's my song. I'm pretty sure those are not the lyrics. Okay, look, Eddie. Before we write up, man. Kane, where do you see? Do you see any chance of Kane moving to Chelsea? Or
I don't see Chelsea buying the top number 9 this offseason. That's where I stand on it.
So Chelsea are screwed then?
So Abramovich is dumb, is what you're saying? Damn.
No, I mean they'll probably buy number 9, but
not a top one.
It's not a top one. It's not gonna be your Kanes, your Lukakus, your Haalands, because everyone knows Chelsea is desperate. Like they're gonna price Chelsea out. That's what the market's gonna, especially in the COVID market as well. Mourinho doesn't spend. So Chelsea are not going for a top striker. What they might do is fill in other areas of the squad. You think they get a creative midfielder? You think they probably get a... I see they're trying to
You're
go
on
for
camera,
Sancho.
HH. I don't know what
I wouldn't...
Are you doing...
Eddie, talk. Keep talking.
We're doing this too. You're doing
it.
On his team. That's bad.
I see they're trying to go for Sancho. So they might get a winger, they might get a creative midfielder, then a centre back and probably a wing back. But as far as number 9 goes, the only reason they get a number 9 is because they're losing Tammy and Giroud.
Olivier Giroud.
But most definitely you'll probably see Havertz playing false 9 next season, whether you like it or not. You'll probably see Timo Werner playing up front as well. So it then makes sense to buy maybe a 20 to 30 mil striker who's happy coming off the bench. Probably have a look at someone like a Danny Ings, you know. I'm just preparing Chelsea fans for what will be a funny summer, because y'all think
have suffer. You want him to suffer next year again.
Y'all think you're getting Harry Kane and Lukaku and Haaland. They're not coming.
Sorry, brother. Sorry. Sorry. You have suffered for it. You have suffered for Lemolena.
As a third striker, it's not bad.
Your sufferness will continue. Hey, sorry, brother. Sorry.
I just threw Danny Ings out there. I'm not saying get Danny Ings, but hey, if he's your third striker, you can't do much worse, man.
You're wild, man. Guys, I'm going to go and lie down, man, because I'm still suffering from insomnia. Guys, peace out. Stay true. Support us up in the description, links below and everything. We love you guys and so forth. Don't be racist. I know this club has racist fans, but you don't be racist and so forth. Peace out. Stay true. Stay real. And yes, I do stand with Palestine. Peace out.
Free.
Please. Peace, everybody. Peace.
Peace.